Hey everybody, this video is going to go over the homework assignments for week 7. So when you clicked on this tab, you saw that there were several subtabs listed underneath. The first subtab tells you to read chapter 17. Chapter 17 goes over the elements of an essay. Okay, so we've already covered that in this module, so going through the chapter, probably just skim it, just to kind of reinforce the main ideas that I've discussed this week. The next item that you'll see is week 7, assignment 1, identifying parts of an essay. So for this assignment, you're going to need to refer to the essay, My Job in an Apple Plant, on pages 325 and 326 of our textbook. All the questions in this assignment relate directly to that essay. You can create your own Word document where you're typing in everything on your own, all the answers, or the assignment sheet is attached underneath the assignment instructions. You can download that file, type and save it to your computer or your flash drive, and mark your answers in that assignment that's already there for you. Either way is perfectly fine. Doesn't matter to me, whichever is easiest for you. But you'll notice when you look at the essay on My Job in an Apple Plant, all of the sentences are numbered. And that's because the questions on this assignment are asking you about specific sentences. So for instance, now question number 1 says, in the essay, which sentences are used to attract the reader's interest? Is it sentences 1 through 3, sentences 1 through 4, or sentences 1 through 5? So that's why all the sentences are numbered, and that's what you're going to be kind of doing. There's 11 questions here, and each one is asking you basically which sentences in the essay are representative of each element of an essay. So the grabbing the reader's attention, the thesis statement, topic sentences, main points, those sort of things. If you have any questions about it, feel free to let me know, but don't make it harder than it has to be. Just read through the questions and then read the essay, and you'll see how everything is matching up. The next assignment for week 7 is week 7, assignment 2, thesis statements. So again, it's going to be in a Word document. You can create your own Word document, or you can download the file that already has all of the instructions and questions, and you can use that to make your to mark your answers. But however you decide to do it, there are 2 parts to this assignment. Part 1 is asking you to identify the stronger thesis statement. So there are 8 sets of sentences, 8 pairs of sentences. Each pair is a version of a thesis statement for a specific topic. Your job is to determine which one is the stronger of the 2. So for instance, for number 1, option A is The Hunger Games is a science fiction adventure film based on the novel of the same name by Suzanne Collins. Option B is The Hunger Games is a morality tale about the dangers of a political system that is dominated by the wealthy. Out of those 2, which one is the stronger thesis statement? Highlight it, underline it, however you want to mark it. Just let me know which one is the strongest. You'll do that for all 8 pairs. Part 2, we're going to start working on creating a thesis statement. So there's an example in a box at the beginning of part 2. You are given a topic. You are given 3 supporting ideas. Your goal is to create a thesis statement using all of that information. So in the example, our topic is, you have won the lottery and can choose to travel anywhere in the world. Write about one place that you would like to visit and explain why you'd like to travel there. So our supporting ideas are, I would love to travel to France because I love French food. Paris is one of the most beautiful cities in the world and I would like to see it. And I would like to practice my French and become more fluent. So if I'm going to write an essay about this, this was my topic that my instructor gave me to write about where I would like to visit if I won the lottery. I'm doing my free writing or just thinking about it in my head, jotting down some ideas, and I realize I want to go to France, and these are the reasons why. So now I need to create a thesis statement for my essay based on those supporting ideas. If I won the lottery and could travel anywhere in the world, I would travel to France because I love French food, I want to see Paris, and I would like to become more fluent in French. So I took the idea from the topic and the main ideas of my supporting sentences and created a thesis statement, right? So there are 3 sets of these that you'll need to do. So number 1, the topic is education is important to have. And then you've got 3 supporting sentences. Take all of those ideas and create a thesis statement. Don't add anything extra, right? So whatever you create for number 1, it should only have to deal with getting a better paying job, becoming a more interesting individual, and being a more informed citizen. Don't add other thoughts. Just stick with what is here. So take the topic, the idea from the topic, and the main ideas of the supporting sentences and create a thesis statement for each of the 3 sets. If you have any questions, if you get confused about anything, please let me know. And the third assignment is week 7, assignment 3, introductions and conclusions. So for this assignment, there is a file attached that has 2 introductory paragraphs and 2 concluding paragraphs. You will need to choose paragraphs from that file, from that attachment. So that's why it's there. What you're going to need to do first, part 1, is working with an introduction. Your first task is to choose one of the 2 introductions on that attached file, whichever one you want to work with, doesn't matter. Choose one of them, and then I want you to answer the bullet point questions about that introduction. Type your answers in a Word document. Is the opening statement interesting? Does it use an opening technique that we've discussed in the module? Does it include a thesis? Does it include a thesis statement, a statement that tells the central idea of the essay? Once you have typed up your answers to those bullet point questions, then you can move on to task 2, which is to revise the introductory paragraph you have chosen. Do your best. I know it's not easy. It's not your idea. It's not your topic. We don't have the rest of the essay to really help guide us. Just do your best. Try to retain as much of the paragraph's essence as you can. But this is not just rearranging the sentences. Both introductory paragraphs that are on that attached file need work. Maybe they don't grab our attention. Maybe they don't draw us in. Maybe they don't have a thesis statement. Maybe the ideas are all over the place. This is not just about rearranging the order of the sentences. You need to revise the ideas, okay? It needs coherence. Think of everything that an introductory paragraph is supposed to do, and then try to do it with what you have to work with. You might leave some stuff out. You might have to add a little bit, right? And that's okay. But just don't rearrange the order of the sentences and call it a day. That's not enough, okay? Once you've completed part 1, you'll move on to part 2, which is then working on a concluding paragraph. So on that attached file, there's 2 concluding paragraphs you can choose from. You will choose one of them to work with. Task 3 asks you to type up your answers to the bullet point questions regarding the conclusion you've chosen. And then task 4 is work on revising it. Again, more than just rearranging the order of the sentences here. Do your best on the revision of the introduction and the revision of the conclusion. Just do your best. Give it a shot, all right? If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, but don't stress out too much about it. Just try, okay? And then, of course, the last item for week 7 is the week 7 discussion. And the title for this discussion is Experience with Research in APA Format. So the prompt says, or the discussion question is, what is your experience with writing research papers? Have you had to write any in the past? What did you struggle with? What do you still need help with in terms of research papers? And finally, what do you know about APA format? Do you have any experience or perhaps any questions about APA format? We are not writing a research paper, not doing any kind of research in this course, but I am going to give you an overview of APA format. And so for this discussion, I just kind of want to get a feel for what everyone's experience is with writing research papers, and if you have any experience with APA format, just however you want to answer those questions, just be honest. Make sure you have try to have your first post your answer to my discussion question posted by Thursday night at midnight, and then respond to 2 classmates before the discussion closes Sunday night at midnight. Remember, unless I get word from my boss, I'm not allowed to reopen any of the discussions. So you want to make sure you do your best to get your answer to my discussion question and your response to 2 classmates posted to the thread before it closes Sunday at midnight. If you have any questions, or especially if you experience any technical difficulties, let me know right away. Otherwise, good luck on all the assignments. Don't stress out about them, just do your best, okay?